This episode is proudly brought to you by DC 4x4, Neway Works, and Aussie Travel.
Well, g'day travellers and welcome back to the channel. This one we're bringing to you from DC 4x4 and we've got Izzy back in the workshop, not for repairs, but a bit of a refit. So let's have a look and see what we're doing today.
So what are you broken now?
Nothing this time, mate.
Oh,
But I've got a job for you.
of course.
So we've been running this setup for a couple of years now, and it was our first crack at a dual cab ute. So after so many years of working with a wagon, we set it up, and I reckon we got it about 80% right. There's some stuff that I'm not happy with, and that's where you come in today. The thing we're going to do is actually get rid of the ARB drawers, because we're going to change them out for a new set of drawers from Neway Works. So as I said before, we got it about 80% right, but there's some things with this setup that I'm not 100% happy about. So we're going to try and rectify those today. Now you might be wondering why we're actually pulling the ARB drawers out and putting in effectively what is the same sort of product. It's because Neway Works are a new drawer company. They're a Melbourne-based company, and they are producing some really good quality four-wheel drive drawers, and they are at a pretty good price. So to give you an average, these Outback drawers from ARB that we got in there, to put the equivalent in, which is what we're doing today, probably works out for you, the punter, about $1,000 cheaper. Now, just because they're cheaper doesn't mean the quality is down. These are really good. We've fitted a stack of these to vehicles lately, and so it's a twofold thing. So the guys from Neway Works offered to give me a set of these drawers, one to try out, and also because we don't have a 4x4 at the moment, it means that we can use Izzy as a display vehicle. So we thought this is the ideal candidate for it because, as you guys would know if you watch the channel, I am pretty rough on the gear. So if these things can survive in the back of his, I reckon they're going to get by in most trucks. So we'll run you through. I'll show you the stuff that I'm not happy about, what we're going to do to change it. Jasper's already in. He's ripping the guts out of the Dmax. So let's have a look. So this is our dual battery system, and it's a kick-ass. It's 120 amp hour AGM, and this has served us, crikey, for about 10 years. This was in the Prado before it went into the Dmax, but sitting here on top of the drawer, it does take up a lot of space. So what we're going to do is we're going to relocate the battery down into the side of the drawer here. But we're not going to throw the old AGM in. We've got a 100 amp hour Fusion lithium battery here, which is going to take place. Now there is a reason why I have gone with the Fusion lithium, is because this battery will charge using a standard AGM lead acid battery charger, and we've got the excuse the fingers, I'll show you better when it comes out, but we've got the projector BC-DC charger, and this is going to allow us to reuse that rather than having to buy a lithium compatible charger. So it's going to save us a few bucks. Right, so we've got the tilt slide here. It's one of the OCAM tilt slides, and we're going to stick with that. I actually really like the tilt slides. We had one in the Prado that I actually made myself out of one of the old ARB straight slides, but they're a shitload lighter than the drop slides, and they take up a shitload less room. So we're gonna retain that. Our old shelf there, which houses did house the Road Chef oven and the inverter. Well, look, it's functional, but let's face it, it ain't the prettiest thing that you've ever seen. So we're gonna get rid of this old girl that we knocked up really quickly in a weekend because the old one broke, and we're going to build a bit of a shelving unit. Now the shelving unit is going to allow me to put some canvas bags. So we've got a couple of these canvas bags here from our mates at Aussie Travellers, and they're going to stack in under that. Now there'll be a shelf up here, the Road Chef will stay in there, the inverter will stay there, and the little kick-ass distribution board, the mini distribution board, will just go up onto the side. We've got a 42 litre water tank to go up the front of the tub. So that's going to sit up there. We've got our 12 volt pump which come out of the Prado, and that's all going to be plumbed into an outlet. There goes the slide, an outlet which is going to sit in here. We'll mount the water pump in there. We've got the ARB compressor which does tyre duties and runs the lockers. Yeah, and that's it. So I was going to say let's get into it, but it's really Jasper that's going to be doing all the work today. That shit is all sorts of wrong. The side floor kit we're using here today is a universal one. Neway Works don't yet have them for the older utes. They've got a full range of side floor kits for all the modern dual cabs, so current models. But these are a universal one, so if you've got an older car, they'll supply with a universal kit, and it's got to do a few modifications to get them to fit onto the tub. Day two of the refit, the bones are in, the drawers are in place, the water tank is mounted, and today is the day when the magic happens and Bun starts installing all the electrical side, which is going to make life a heck of a lot easier.
Hey Rob,
Yeah, what's up?
the dinosaur drawer doesn't work.
What do you mean?
Well, these new drawers, they all foul on each other. I've even spaced it up 10 mil, and you know, before the drawer bottoms out, we hit the top edge of the Neway.
Oh, okay. And that's spaced up.
Yeah.
So the issue is the drawers are sitting back further than the ARB ones, say, because of the water tank? Is that what the problem is?
Yeah, the drawers are sitting back further, and then, you know, we're running out of room because of tailgate.
Yeah,
Canopy,
okay. Yeah, right,
and might need a bit of...
Well, we can't really space up any higher because I'm worried the fridge won't clear the top of the canopy. Any ideas?
So that's as far back as it can go, yeah?
At its current moment, yep.
So what you do?
Dang.
We're still a fair way up the deck, aren't we?
I suppose we need to do what we need to do, mate, because we need a fridge, we need some drawers,
Some drawers and some fridge.
and it needs to work. That's pretty easy, isn't it? Alright, so you've had a brainstorm, mate?
Had a small brainstorm,
Yeah,
so
what are you
instead instead of ugly spacing up drawers or something like that,
Yeah.
do we just put a limit on how much it can?
Oh, like a stopper. So,
Yeah.
So that's taken the weight rather than the front of the drawer and it's
Yeah.
not sitting on.
So
Hey, that could work.
about there, that's a more respectable thing. I just got to keep a gap
And
within
I
it.
reckon that'll still give me enough. We'll bring the fridge in tomorrow to double check, but
Yeah.
I reckon that'll still give me enough to get the beers out of the fridge. A new setup's been in the ute now for a couple of weeks, and we're out here at the Ilford Valley Cherry Farm for the We Went That Away Adventures crew camp out. And it's the second time we've gone camping with the new setup, and she's working pretty good. So let's run you through and show you the finished product, eh? So as you've seen back in the workshop, we've got 100 amp hour Fusion lithium battery, which has gone down into this wing panel here. And the boys have installed some outlets for me. So I've got a couple of USBs. We've got our Anderson plug and a SIG socket there. We've got a couple more USBs for charging phones and speakers and all that sort of gear. We've got our chuck for our AAB compressor, which lives in this side of the drawers. And we've got up the front, as you've seen going in, we've got our 42 litre water tank, and it works an absolute treat. So the boys have wired the pump in, the pump's installed in the side of the drawer, and we've got our curly hose here. So with a little simple flick of the button, we get some pretty high pressure water. So around the side here, the boys have built a little shelf for me. And that's just some storage. We've got our jaffle maker, our loo paper, all our solar leads. We've got our solar input, there. And I've got the Red Arc solar blanket sitting up on the roof rack at the moment. Got our inverter mounted here in the old Rode chef oven. So this is where the battery used to sit. So this is way more usable space now. So the fact that we're now running a lithium battery as opposed to an AGM, we're running 2 fridges this weekend. It's a little bit of a trial run just to see how it goes, because we've got some big trips coming up next year. We've got a 5-day trip down in the high country, and then we've got a 14-day trip through the outback into New South Wales, Queensland and South Australian outback. So we're going to run the little 20 litre as a freezer on that trip. So this weekend we're out here for a couple of nights, and we're going to run the 2 fridges and see what sort of life we get out of the battery, obviously on these big trips we're driving every day. So everything charges back nice. Now we do run one fixed top and a roller top, and that is more for demonstration purposes back at DC. I don't really like the roller top drawers, so we'll be using it basically as 2 fixed tops, and I will put a couple of tie down points so that we can secure that fridge. But yeah, it is pretty functional now. We've also put a whole heap of these LED lights around the canopy. So we've got one on the back door there so that we can see what we're doing of a night out here on the tailgate. And we've got one on either side of the ascent canopy there. So yeah, they are pretty good, and they're dual colour, so keep the bugs at bay. Now this is how we overcome our dilemma with the drawers. We've actually installed these brass stoppers right there, and they just they limit how far the fridge can sit down. And it gives us some just a couple of mil clearance between the top of the drawer and the fridge slide, and it still comes down far enough that Neen can give me a beer. But the real test of any new setup is whether it gets approval from the Minister of War and Finance here. So what do you think of the new setup, bub?
Yeah, I love it. It's great.
What's your favourite part?
I think there's a little bit more storage, so we fit a little bit. They're a little bit higher, so we can fit a lot more in.
Yeah, that's a really good point. So these drawers they're slightly wider and they're slightly deeper than the ARB drawers we had in here, and not by a lot, but the difference to how much we can fit in it is huge, isn't it? It is huge. So a whole heap of stuff we used to have floating around in the back, like our cooker, all that used to sit on top of the drawers because it wouldn't fit in, all packs neatly inside. So yeah, that extra space I think is a godsend. Moving the battery, I think, has been really good. That new shelf.
Freed up some space in there.
Gives us a whole heap more room. And it looks a whole lot prettier than the old shelf too. So, but there is one final test. Can you get me a beer out of the fridge? Can you reach? Let's have a look. Well, there you go, folks. That's an absolute winner. If you can get me a beer, I think I might just have one right now. So, yeah, if you're interested in finding out more about the Neway Works drawers, or the ARB drawers, or even the MSA drawers, we do them all at DC. Even if you don't need a set of drawers, you need anything done at all, the boys are top notch. Their work is impeccable. So, yeah, give us a call, DC 4x4, if you want something for your floor. But right now, I think I'm gonna knock down this beer and we're gonna get into a bit of camping for the weekend. So you know the drill. If you like what we do, don't forget to smash the subscribe button, and we'll catch you somewhere on the next episode of We Went That Away Adventures. Cheers, guys.